It's Z100, New York's #1 hit music station. I'm Josh Martinez with our guest, Meg Donnelly. What's up, girl?
Hi.
So you grew up in the area.
I did. I like your tattoos.
Thank you. So you're
and the musical note one too.
Yeah, and the one train.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah. Well, the one train's not hot right now because last night.
No, it was like,
dude.
What was going on?
And that like never happens ever.
No.
Like ever.
Like what even did they get out? Like what?
I think eventually they did.
Yeah,
but I think it just becomes like a survival of the fittest. So let's put you in that situation. So for those that don't know, there was a huge viral video, many viral videos of the rain last night. One in particular that stood out to me was like a tsunami coming down the steps.
Literally, yeah.
Of the train station. In that situation, do you wait it out or do you say, fuck it, we're going up?
I would say we're going up. Like, I don't know what I would do. I would start freaking out because it looked like it was like flooding in. And my instinct would be like, oh, it's going to keep going and going and going. So I'm going to get out. I'm going to go on top of the cart.
Me, I would be too concerned about my sneakers. So like I would be like, I'm going to wait this out and just make sure that the water's got to go somewhere else. We're not going to die down here. That would be my first thought.
Your sneakers.
Yeah. Because that's the first thing that would go in a flooding situation. So it's like, let's wait it out and make sure I'll go to the other side of the platform.
So even if you're not safe, as long as they're clean, no scuff marks.
Yeah, I'll die with so you've been busy.
Yes.
You've been busy. Zombies 4 officially on Disney Plus, right?
It is.
How exciting is that? Like to know that this movie's coming out, you're reprising a character, you're back into the swing of things at a different point in your life, and then boom, here it goes.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I mean, I feel like this whole process, like filming Zombies 4 and then even like the after of doing all this press, it's like, it feels just like we're reliving almost like our childhood's over again. It's very nostalgic and it's very like we're passing the torch to these new kids. So it like doesn't even feel like, obviously it's a zombies movie, but it feels like it's whole new thing of like just us being able to reflect about everything we've been through and what we've built, and then able to pass it on to these new kids to continue it. It's like a very weird, like indescribable feeling. I don't even know.
So it almost sounds like you're now in this like OG character that,
yeah,
like is weird because you're still super young.
Yes.
So what was that like when it hits you that you got to be the one to kind of be that OG? Like, did it ever hit you at any point, really?
I mean, yeah, I feel like in the rehearsal process, like I think seeing how excited the kids were and how nervous they were, and it was just wild because it was what me and Milo and a lot of the cast felt on the first movie.
Sure.
And I think in that moment I realized, because I was like, okay, we're back, we're doing this. Like, I was still so excited, but it was more like, okay, like we're doing rehearsal and then we'll film it and then like whatever. But they were just like so excited and were like acting out the scenes beforehand. And like, that's what Milo and I were doing on the first one. And that's when it hit me of like, wow, like I'm not old by any means, but I'm not that age anymore. Like I'm definitely like an adult. And that was terrifying because I was like, wow, like I feel it. I feel like I have things to share, and like I never feel like I do because I'm like, oh, I just started life. But now I have like advice or experience, and it just feels very weird.
Shifting a little bit into music, because you just said like you feel like you don't have much to say or whatever, but
yeah,
like your lyrics are very deep, and
yeah,
and like Strangers was an example where it's just like the chorus alone, strangers to lovers to back again.
Yeah.
What was the songwriting process for that song in particular? Because there were like hyper specific details, meeting parents and and all that stuff. I mean, is it as simple as like, yo, I'm gonna be raw, open, here we go, or is it like that sense of I don't want to let too much out?
Yeah, I think I mean, it definitely is very personal, and I think that's what I was kind of going for like all of Dying Art, was like whether the feeling is making people want to dance or making people feel relatable. Like I just want to do it like in the best way possible, in the most vulnerable way possible. And I think Strangers just means so much to me because it feels very nostalgic. It feels like a memory almost, and I think it's like a feeling that everybody goes through, where even if it's like, in this case, it's like a romantic like situation, but like it could be friends, family, whoever that, you know, who you are not close to anymore. And it's like a really weird feeling because it's like we spent so much time together. Like, how are we not talking at all? And they don't know me anymore. So Yeah, that was basically just the whole writing process was just like unbreaking that, because that summer when I came back, I was away and I was just thinking about all of that. Like when I came back from filming Zombies, I was just like thinking about like just all the relationships in my life, and I was just like, wow, that's a really weird feeling. So.
And then you have Dancing Around, which is
Yeah.
like different spectrum of just having fun. Were you purposely trying to go for like that throwback kind of 80s sound in that song?
Yeah, honestly, Dancing Around was fully just like I went into this session and I was like, I just want to recreate my version of You Can Do Magic by America, because it's one of my favorite songs ever. Okay. Random. But I was like, I love that song. It's just so nasty. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I was like, I really love this song. And so he like basically the producer was just like playing like synth, like that feeling of like yacht rock, that like classic synth sound, and we just went from there. And it was kind of like, you know, we were singing a bunch of like things, and like the word dancing around, or the phrase dancing around kind of came around, and we were like, it'd be cool if it was like dancing around physically, but then also like emotionally we're dancing around. And I was like, yeah, let's do it, because that literally just happened to me like 3 years ago. So
when it comes to like songwriting, are you more of a jotting down notes girl or singing into your voice memo?
Oh, I think it kind of depends, but I would say like most of the time it's jotting down. Like I'm always just like word vomiting, like in my, even like, you know, on my day to day, like I'm always writing down random things. Like my notes app is like the most chaotic shit you'll ever see. It's like I can't even describe it.
When you get that software update telling you that you can't update it, you look and it's text messages and voice memos and notes that have the most.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like I'm always like journaling or writing down concepts, and I feel like in sessions I feel like it's almost always concept first. But sometimes I'm like, I just want to like make a song that's just fun and that people can dance to. Like, let's just make like a vibe or whatever. Sometimes it's not necessarily a concept, but almost always it is.
Have you ever been in a situation where you have a song or an idea and you're just like, nah, this is just too personal right now, I'll just use that later in life when I'm ready?
You know, sometimes, yeah, I feel like sometimes I like to save concepts for like when, almost like if the vibe is like right and everyone's meshing well together and I feel super comfortable, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll like bring this up and see where it goes, because like it feels like the emotions and are correct and people here would understand like that concept. So I feel like it's more so like testing out the waters and being like, is this like the time for this? But I think with the title track Dying Art, that was like, oh, I went into the studio being like, we are making the title track, and like it's going to be called Dying Art, and this is the concept. Like there was a super clear vision for that. So sometimes it makes it harder though, because then it's like
you're pigeonholing yourself,
right? Exactly, yeah. But sometimes it makes it easier because you're like, we know exactly what we're doing here. But it was really cool because it felt like all of these things, like my whole life in this industry that I was feeling, I was just able to just like it all out. And so it's really cool to do that and make art from it.
So why the name Dying Art? I know that's like name of the song, and then kind of you went from there. But did you go in with that word stuck in your head, or did it just come because of the song?
Yeah, I mean the Dying Art was the title of the EP before I even like made the song. I feel like it's a lot of reasons. I think the main one is just like social media in general. Obviously, for me, it's been a difficult journey to adapt to, you know, posting all the time. And that's like a crucial thing with music is like, you know, like TikTok is like so incredible because I've personally have discovered so many artists from it. So I know that it works because I feel like I've discovered so much new music from it. But for me to like put myself out there constantly, it's just really hard, especially because I'm already like hard on myself and insecure as it is, that like now I have to be like, you know, I'm like, don't perceive me. But so that's been really difficult. And I feel like there was a time where, you know, it wasn't super like congested with all of these things. And, you know, labels don't see as much value in like music videos and, you know, and that was like my whole, I loved watching music videos. And, you know, with live performance, it's just like, yeah, I don't know, just thinking about like storytelling and, yeah, I was just like, am I just doing this for, like, what am I doing this for, I guess? And I think that's kind of a question that I talk about all the time with my friends who have been in the industry since they were kids. It's like, am I doing this just because I've always done this since I was like 8? Or do I actually want to do this? And like, is this industry actually like, am I cut out for this industry? Because a lot of it is, it's super creative and it's super artsy, but most of it is not. Like, it's very business oriented. And I'm like, I just don't know.
And also cutthroat. And also
Yes.
extremely, just like you're more of an entity than a human being in a lot of aspects.
Yeah. And just the constant like criticism online and trying not to read that. And I definitely like compare myself a lot as well. Not even like it's more like I'm just constantly like being like, what am I doing? And is it up to standard of like what's going on? But I'm just trying to rewire that, being like, no, like I can make my own standard and I can make my own path. But it's really hard. So
a lot of young girls look up to you for obvious reasons. You know, Disney Plus, they grew up with you in theory, right? And social media comments could be really cruel. You know that firsthand. So what advice would you have to those girls or people in general, just kids in general that are struggling with social media and kind of letting that dictate how they feel, unfortunately?
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, I feel like even just recently I went down this like rabbit hole because we just did like a performance for like GMA and it was so much fun. But then there was like a lot of comments online that were like not the best, and I went through this like huge, I mean so vulnerable, but I went through like a huge like spiral of just like, oh my God, like am I like cut out for this? Like, can I handle this criticism all the time? Because like the more successful you become, the more like it's just like the equal amount of love is the equal amount of hate too. And like I'm so sensitive to that. And I just was like, I literally am gonna keep getting this, and you just have to like keep moving forward and really believe in like your message. I think I'm always constantly really hard on myself of like, am I talented enough? Am I good enough? Am I this enough? But I think like all of that is just like so subjective because like, you know, everyone's talented in their own right. And I think if just for anybody looking at social media or comparing themselves, I think what helps me is like I know who I am and I know what message I want to bring across, and I feel like the long lasting message is more important than like what you have to say is more important than all the other like cosmetic things.
And isn't it wild that the comments that come in are from people that aren't even like real?
I know.
It's like a Twitter egg with like 3 followers.
I know.
And all they tweet is like replies to companies so that they could try to get free gift cards or something out of it.
I know. And a lot of times it's like to spark something so that the person will respond to it too.
And then it's a win for them.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh my God, I love you," blah, blah, blah. And it's like, "Wait, what? I thought you hated me." So yeah, it's really interesting. And I think I also don't think that people commenting online realize like how like harsh it is, and how like the artist or whoever you're talking about like will most likely see it. And if they did see it, like I don't think they're like comprehending that like we look at social media and we look at the comments just as much as they do. I feel like it's kind of like, oh no, they are like not like, they don't look at this stuff, so I can just say whatever.
They want attention. So when it comes, and then unfortunately, then you'll have your fans that'll fight back.
Right.
But then that's just fueling them or making that comment jump up more.
Right.
So you do see it, even though you don't want to.
Right.
But I think it's dope that you're being honest about like, yo, I look at it. It sucks. You know, it's amazing how like 4 or 5 words could completely change our day.
I know.
In regards to like something about your appearance or like you mentioned before, a GMA performance. How do you try to stay as positive as humanly possible though, given all the noise around you?
Yeah, I think it's because, you know, the industry is really hard. It's very cutthroat, but I do like, I could not see myself doing anything else at the end of the day, even though I have obviously intrusive thoughts of like, why all this stuff, but I truly love it with like all my heart. And I know that like I was born to, you know, be like an entertainer and be on stage and be like, a performer. And so I know that like in my heart of hearts. And so that's just what keeps me going. Cause I'm like, even if everyone hates it, like I know that I love it. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. And also I think just for anyone, I like always make a decision just to be like super honest, like especially like in front of the camera as well. Cause I think that's how you can help people. And it helps myself because also I'm like talking about all of this and it's like connecting in my mind because it's always in here. But
we also got to let it out because you're in a situation where you're probably talking about hyper specific things, right? So it's like
right.
You're talking about the music, you're talking about the movies. If you're with your inner circle, you're talking about business things.
Right.
So when does the conversations come up where you could just let out that realness of like, yo, it sucks that people like say this nasty ass things to me that they would never say to my face or that they're saying because they just want to get some sort of reaction. And the unfortunate thing, it's almost like you find yourself getting mad that you're mad, which makes you more mad, if that makes sense.
Oh, 100%. I'm like, I wish I didn't let this get to me, I feel like it's relatable because even my friends who aren't in the industry and are just like working, non-industry jobs, like they feel the same thing too because they're on social media and they're looking at like comment sections just on random like memes or whatever affect them as well because like it's like very negative, so like you're just like in a negative headspace or everyone's on social media. It's not just like, obviously I know it's like under like a microscope if you're in the public eye, but like everybody is like counting likes and seeing like getting FOMO because your friends are out or whatever. Like it's affecting everybody. So I think it's a very like I talk about it often because it's something we're all going through together. And like that makes me feel positive that we're all struggling.
Yo,
together.
and also like, isn't it amazing how people, when they feel comfortable with you, they just say things that like they think it's like supposed to be constructive criticism,
right.
but it ends up hurting. And it's not about me, it's about you. But I'm going to give a quick 20-second story. This Saturday,
please,
I saw a friend that I haven't seen since high school.
Okay.
So it's been quite some time.
Yeah.
Right? And he sees me and we're like, oh, snap, yo, what up, bro? How you been? Whatever. Within like 30 seconds of the interaction, he goes, bro, you got mad fat, yo. But like I did too, dog. Like I did too. Like, don't worry about it. And I was just looking like, what? On what planet is that? Like, and here's the thing, like we weren't best friends in high school. So it's not even like we're trying to rekindle that. Like we're cracking on each. I literally was like, man,
damn.
If I didn't lose 20 pounds recently and I feel good and I know I'm kind of on that journey,
yeah,
like, that shit would have sucked, dog.
Yeah, that's great. Is it because of like the parasocial, like you follow each other on Instagram, so he's like, oh, I know this guy?
Probably.
But like also, even if you did, who says that?
Him, dog. That's who. Okay, him. Before we wrap,
that's wild.
Before we wap things up, let's just kind of dive in a little bit. Quick segment, quick questions. What's the last show that you binged?
Love Island.
Of course you did.
It's the first reality show that I've ever watched, so
okay.
I had no idea what to expect.
Positives of social media, because that's probably what sucked you in.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I really I enjoyed it. I don't know if it was like all the stuff was like a lot of people were like, this never happens on this season, so I don't know if it was like normal or not, whatever. But I was entertained. So.
You have an acting performance. What song do you listen to before the acting performance, if any?
Acting performance. I guess it depends on like what role it is, but for I guess like just talking zombies, like I would listen to like any of my playlists, like probably like an R&B and hip hop playlist just to get me going.
Jersey girl got taste.
Energize, hey.
If it was your performance, an actual like singing performance, are you and you have to listen to something to get you ready to go that's not yours, what are you listening to?
I actually got this from my cousin Anna. Like her when she did theater shows, like she had to listen to Love on Top by Beyonce. So now I just always do that.
I love that.
It's great. It really gets all those key changes, man. Like you're in it. And I also have to eat grapes before every performance. It's really weird, but
why?
That's a great question. I think like when I was in theater school and we would have performances, I feel like it was the only thing because like I couldn't eat because I was so nervous, and grapes are just like easy. They're nothing. Yeah, okay. They're just like little tiny like and so that was like the only thing that I could like eat, and it didn't feel like heavy.
Who has better pizza, New York or New Jersey?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say LA, and I was like, oh, New York, duh. But
LA don't got pizza. Stop that.
Literally not. You're so true. Oh, New Jersey or New York? Dang. What do you think? New York?
I think
Are
New
you from New York? You're
Yeah.
right.
Brooklyn and Staten Island, so I am biased.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna like offend people either way. I would say New York for pizza, but Jersey bagels are pretty good.
Okay, I can live with that.
Yeah, they're really good.
If you weren't an artist, what would you be doing right now?
Ooh. Literally no idea. This is what I spiral about. I don't know. I don't know if I could handle it because I would be I feel like I would like take people's problems on as my own, but I would love to be some kind of like therapist, whatever. I feel like I psychoanalyze people and myself a lot, and I love it. And not even like in a judgy way. I'm just like, oh, maybe like they're like whatever. I love doing that. I think the human brain is like the most fascinating thing ever. So it'd be really cool to be in that kind of field. But I don't know if I could handle it. I think I would cry. Someone would be telling me a story. I'd be crying. They're like, "Okay, cool. Well, you're fired."
Well, I think no. It's funny because like the reason why I think something similar about myself is because I think like I'm just trying to suppress my issues. So by taking on like that person's issues, I don't gotta face my own.
Way to read me. That's crazy.
We grew up in the same area, dog.
Yeah, we did.
You know what I'm saying? We have our childhood traumas. We
Clock
have our
it.
issues. Yeah. One more time, Meg Donnelly. We appreciate you stopping by to a radio station that you know you listened to growing up. And if you didn't, we'll just say you did.
No, I did. I literally just said it. I said 92.3 and Z100. That's what I listened to.
I love that. And you know who lasted that battle?
Who?
Z100.
Hey, let's go.
From the top of the Empire State Building.
Z100.